So back at it. Yeah, so I got news that the head's available and hopefully gonna be ready tomorrow for Bimmer head. So the motor's right there. Got the drive shaft. There's the block. I have ARP head studs. Slapping those on. 0.8 MLS head gasket from Cometic. And then there's a valve cover. And then I realized that a bunch of the parts were dirty. Can't really just put, you know, dirty parts on. Clean all those guys up. Yeah, there's the intake. I gotta clean that up too, so that'll get a little refresh. I'll probably end up doing that stuff tomorrow, but before it got dark today, I realized I had another valance on here. It was kind of bent up, and then I found a clean one, and I took it back to the shop and had the guy paint it. But I forgot about the clips and having to mount it. So luckily, my buddy Dave had this, this is actually a template from the factory. This is how they mount the MTech kits. So we use the same on the sides. There's a bunch of different ones, but for now we have the front one here. So all I have to do is line it up, and you can see it lines up with this, lines up with this, lines up here, and then with these, all you got to do is punch holes here, and then you drill it, and then you put the clips on, and then it should all just slide back on. That's what I'm gonna do right now. So now we got little marks where to drill. Might as well do little dabs so I can see exactly where it's at. There you go. Next, we just drill some holes. And I gotta make sure I have the right clips. So yeah, see where that goes. Yo, what's up guys? So found a bunch of parts for the M30. They're all sitting in the back of the touring actually. So I was looking at them and they're all pretty dirty and gross. So just doing a little cleanup on those today. Supposedly my head's gonna be ready today. So we'll see. That's what Bimmer Heads was saying. But you know, stuff happens. Hopefully it's ready. I can just keep cleaning up this stuff. And then when they give me a call, I can head up there and go grab my head. So we'll see what happens. All right, later. Yo, all right, so got it all cleaned up. Put like a little clear coat on it just to make it seal it back up, because otherwise it'd just be raw metal exposed. So kind of similar to what I did on the M3, just doing the same on the touring. Might as well keep it. I kind of like the raw metal look. It's kind of uneven and stuff, but it makes it look real. All right guys, so today finally we got from Bimmer Heads. I got my head back. Just went up and talked to Matt and Sean and picked it up today. So I'm gonna go ahead and just go through this, start prepping it. Go on to this guy. But yeah. Alright guys, the head actually went on pretty easily. Put a Cometic head gasket in there, did a 0.08, which is the same as like a standard thickness for this cylinder head. I'm not trying to do anything too crazy right now. I might have some plans in the future, but at least for now, I feel like this is gonna be pretty solid. It's heavy duty. These are actually the KM steel heavy duty rocker arms. Then you have the locking portion of the rockers there as well to make sure that there's no sliding around. Upgraded valve springs. They did a grind on the cam. Did a nice little, like doing a port and polish essentially on the exhaust and the intake. They also did like a three angle valve job. So yeah, I'm stoked. I can't wait to actually hear what it sounds like. Should be pretty cool, a little cam. Other than that, it's going pretty smooth. I am waiting on some parts as usual. There's a few little items that I didn't really plan on. It always happens. It's part of building the car. So luckily, as of right now, I have just over 2 weeks. Well, basically 2 weeks from right now, I should be done wrapping up this car in order to actually get to Socal Vintage. We'll see if it happens, but in the meantime, yeah, just torque the head down. So what I did is just right to their specs. They give you the lube for the studs themselves. Just make sure they're all cleaned out real nicely. Hand tight down. You can kind of see where they sit flush. You know, once you get the metal gasket on there, just make sure that it lines up correctly. If it looks off at all, then something's wrong. The stud's in. I was able to literally, with the gasket down, just drop the head right on top. And then we went ahead and I did 30 foot-pounds torque, you know, going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, you know, in order. I waited 20 minutes, did it again at 60 pounds, and then I waited another 20 minutes, did it again at 90 foot-pounds. So what I'm doing there for those 20 minutes is just letting it kind of settle, and hopefully that'll be good. Obviously, after I get a couple 100 miles on this car, we'll pop the valve cover back off again and just double check that it's still tight and everything is good, which I feel like it should be. I'm pretty solid about this setup. Just gonna start putting everything back together. I'm trying to also look for the hardware because it has been a year and a half since I had this motor running. And since then, I moved once. So obviously the car got towed with the hardware sitting inside of it, and I don't know if I have it all. I also noticed that some of it was sitting in the engine bay, and it got towed. So who knows? But yeah, that's why I'm going through everything right now, trying to see if hopefully I can knock this out and we can be in Socal Vintage in 2 weeks. Kind of stoked. This car hasn't, I mean, no one's, like, a lot of people haven't seen the paint job. They haven't seen the body kit. They haven't. It's come a long ways. And unfortunately, like, this happened about, I want to say, less than a month after I got it back from the body shop. I still need to put all the trim back on. Yeah, the spoilers, the window trim. I got to redo the front balance install, which I've already been doing with you guys. After that, if there's enough time, because we have 2 weeks. I'm not working right now, so I should have time, hopefully. I would love to get the air suspension in. And then also, we'll see if I can get my wheels on that I built like 2 years ago for this car while it was in the body shop. Yeah, it's been a while. It's insane. Time just flies. You never know. I mean, if I don't have time to do the air suspension, oh well. As long as I get it running, get it there, that's kind of my big priority. So there's a lot of work to get done. And then I have to put back together the interior as much as I can. Get the cooling system back together, obviously. The fans have to be reinstalled. They're already wired up, so it's like all the hard stuff's done, right? So I just have all the little stuff, and I gotta find it, and I gotta put everything together. So it's a little tedious, it'll take a little bit. Obviously the squirters aren't in yet. I went ahead and torqued it down. I realized I didn't have, there's washers that go right here on these bolts that hold the squirter in place. So before I torqued this down, I actually went ahead and checked that I could even pull it in and out without damaging it. Once it's torqued, I'll be able to take it, slide it in. Actually, no, go this way. Slide it in enough, and then put it in this way. Then I got to put a washer in the bottom, put the bolt in with the washer on top. Same on this side as well. That'll kind of lock it up, and then that way it's getting the oil coming out, going into the head, keeping everything lubricated. Other than that, I mean, Sean and Matt did a great job on this. We'll see how it sounds when it starts up and everything. But yeah, there you go. Lots going on. All right, guys. All right, so working on some of the timing here on this. I just mounted this bottom dampener. It's 8 bolts down here. That's actually the timing. Line up with the mark right above it right here. This one, you put this dowel at 7 o'clock. It's already kind of lined up there. I haven't even put the bolts in. This looks like it's already been set for TDC. And I can actually move this a little bit just to kind of make that. But I want to get these in first and then I can kind of play with it. Well, I got the thermostat all cleaned up, so I'm gonna go ahead and just pop this. Can't remember if I put a new thermostat in here or not, so I'll just check this out. bad. Got a new bleed screw on it already. I remember doing that. But this, I mean, it looks decent, but there's some buildup on the gasket here and stuff. It's just terrible. So I was able to get it out by actually taking some heat, just going around it. And once I did that, I was able to just put this under it and it popped out. Dude, that was stuck in there pretty good. Probably good that I'm replacing it. So I went ahead and cleaned up all this where it mates. You know, it doesn't look the greatest, but actually feels pretty damn smooth. Just gonna drop this guy back in right there, and this gasket goes right there. Yeah, there we go. Easy enough. Yeah, these bolts have been soaking. They're still bad. Jeez. There we go. Now we're getting somewhere. Cool. So now I'm gonna go ahead and install these new time tensioner. Just want to make sure that this lines up on the bracket. It's actually down in there. Kind of see. Slides over like that. So in order to prime them, I'm supposed to put oil down into that socket, or into that hole right there where everything comes together. And then take this and kind of move it back and forth where the spring is. All right, so I'm just gonna go ahead and pour it down into this little spot down there where it says to. This goes this way. Got this seal. Actually, this seal might be better on this guy. Then you just gotta get it all the way down in there. So you have to have the valve cover off just to prime this anyway. We're just gonna go ahead and pour a tiny bit more in there. Yep, that one right down where it needs to. Alright, so basically then you and this is supposed to help with the chain guides and stuff. Alright, I would say that's primed. Let's go ahead and get this valve cover back on there for now. Next, the thermostat will go on after we drop the motor in because it's kind of in the way of this thing. Actually, I don't even know if I'll do the intake manifold. Honestly, I might just, at this point, I could drop this back down, put the transmission on, put the clutch, the flywheel, the clutch, pressure plate, transmission, starter, get that all together. I'll probably do tomorrow. Yeah, and I think after that we should be good. Why not? So, moving on. Oh, what's up? I was just like, you know, going through and cleaning stuff up. And then got an early delivery in Pelican. I might actually be able to drop in this motor, well, today. I gotta go through and just kind of put the stuff together. I just slapped a little paint on the headers right there so they look nice and fresh. But yeah, so I just got all, these are all the gaskets and stuff for the head. All this stuff on the back here. And then the crush washer for oil pressure switch. This is all coming together. So I think in the meantime, we'll just keep going. I'm gonna go ahead and put all this stuff back together, start mounting stuff, probably the engine mounts and stuff. And then I'll drop it down and throw the flywheel, clutch, pressure plate, do a little shimmy, get it in there. And then we'll be good. But yeah, so let's start cracking. All right, just real quick, wanted to show you guys, I didn't realize this, but Bimmer Heads actually marks their heads. BH370, not sure exactly what that means, but I saw somebody selling a car and they said it was Bimmer Heads build, and then they showed the head and it was stamped. So I was like, oh, let me check mine. So that's kind of cool. But yeah, anyways. All right, guys, what's up? So yeah, yesterday I was put on the clutch and it was the wrong pressure plate clutch combo. Sent me one for a 525i instead of a 535i. Not sure why. I had everything selected correctly on the website. So now I gotta wait a few more days for a clutch to show up. And as of right now, we're about a week and like 2 days from Socal Vintage. So we'll see what happens. In the meantime, I've just been doing some little stuff. I think tomorrow I'm gonna get some more parts in too, so I can kind of keep putting stuff back together a little bit here and there. But in the meantime, the interior of this car is fucking gross right now. What I need to do is get all these window trims in. I think the problem is that I can't get power to the windows because I don't have the starter in. So yeah, I'm just gonna try and put in some window trim, like as much as I can with the windows up, and try and work my way around a little bit. So we'll see how it goes. Once I get the window trim in, then I can start putting together, like get all the weather stripping back in, get the door panels back on, you know, the fun stuff. Totally. It's that stuff's pretty easy actually. But then it's just getting the rest of the stuff in too. So I also have, like, on top of the actual window trim, there's like the black metal pieces that run along. Like this is just sitting here because I think I was like, oh yeah, that's the one for that side, but I got all new ones. So we'll see how it ends up looking here. I think it's just a little more difficult to do with the windows up. So I got to figure that out. It looks like I don't have any clips here either. I got a ton of clips, so I got to just start going through and putting all the clips in, and then try and get the trim pieces back on. Like I said, get the interior back together as much as I can. I just cleaned up the window harness because it had paint in the actual connections. So I went ahead and cleaned all that up. It's a mess. So, all right. Yay. All right, so I've just been going around finding all these clips. I know that these go on the inside of the door, and then there's actual little like hook things that they bite into. Kind of obvious. There you go. But yeah, so once I get these in, then obviously the trim pieces will actually slide in, and then it'll hold those. Yep, just working on that. And I went around. All these I'd labeled a while ago, right? And then I put on front. Just know it's on the front because I double check all the part numbers on Real OEM, and it tells me. Weird, I guess there's two different clips on these things. These gold ones right here, that, and then there's black ones like this. So there's 3 of the gold and then 2 of the black. I think this is right. I guess we'll find out. Yeah, this fits nicely in there. All right, well, it's been taking a little while to get this trim done. So I go through and find all the old clips and then make sure that it lines up all this. And then on top of that, the new weather stripping that I ordered, a lot of it, it's weird. It comes in 1 piece now instead of 2. So I'm like looking at the diagrams, and I'm thinking I have 2 pieces there, I only have 1. So it's a lot different, but it's working out. So now I have all these clips on here. Which actually, this all makes 100% sense now. Until like there's a clip, see, there's a clip there that obviously goes to the body, and this one goes to the body and to the trim, or weather stripping, and they all go like that, and then it goes all the way down, and then that one goes to the body again, and the same with the other one. That looks correct, which is great. So anyways, I rolled this window down. Since that one's actually a manual window, I can roll it down. I did try and swap it over to power. I do have 1 regulator here, it looks like, but the regulator is for the other side, so I'll probably just do that. There we go. You can actually hear it snap in there. Oh, it's a little high right there. Maybe that's just optical illusion. Oh, it looks actually cool. Yeah, so that piece is back in. So yeah, these I've already put back on. Those are pretty super simple because all the clips actually stay on the body. And I have to do the other 3 windows, inside and outside. Yeah, we'll just keep going, see how it looks. All right. I realized I was missing this trim piece. I looked everywhere for it, couldn't find it. So luckily I'm still working on the M3, putting stuff together. I realized I had extra pieces in there. I was like, dude, that's so weird. So then I went and I remembered I had a B-pillar panel that I had bought. So I went out there to go look, and actually what I found was my OEM B-pillar panel, brand new, still wrapped in plastic. I just took it out. We'll see if it fits. And then on top of that, all the like little clips that I'm missing, I guess I ordered them and then I wasn't sure what car they were for. Since I was working on the M3, I had them all in there. That has everything it needs as far as the clips. So then I found a ton of extra clips. So it's great. It's gonna save me a lot of time. Yeah, so let's see if this fits. I'll figure it out. But yeah, just gonna keep going. This trim's looking good. Bam. Right now, I just got the clips out of the M3, so dude, I'm stoked. Should be able to get all that exterior and interior trim together tonight, and then that's just one big thing checked off before the car show next week. All right, later.